Hello, and welcome to our webinar, Stellar Series Nonfiction. I'm Julia Smith, Senior Editor, Books for Youth. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some technical details. To resize the slides, look to the magnifying glass icons located to the left side of the slide. There you can increase or decrease the size and select how you'd like the slides to appear. If you lose audio or would like to change the way you're connected to it, look at the bottom of your screen for a circle with 3 dots. Clicking that icon will open a menu with an audio connection option. The audience is in listen-only mode, but we welcome any questions you may have. On the right side of your screen is a control panel with an area at the bottom for Q&A. Simply type your question in the field and click send. Attendees can see questions asked during the webinar and the answers provided. Links to today's slides and title list were sent directly to you from WebEx at the start of this webinar, but you can also download them at any time by copying the URLs on this screen into your web browser. Tomorrow, all attendees will receive a follow-up email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. Today, we have the pleasure of hearing from Jared Waxman, Director of Library Sales at Scholastic Library Publishing, Wendy Vincent, Brand Manager at Rourke Educational Media, Kelly Mullen, Sales Manager at Bellwether Media, Rebecca Glazer, Associate Publisher at Amicus Publishing, and Jen Basil, Associate Publisher at Black Rabbit Books. First, we'll hear from Jared Waxman. Jared has been with Scholastic for 9 years and in educational publishing for 14. When he's not discussing his favorite books or the benefits of nonfiction for readers, he enjoys camping, sports, and spending time with his family. Welcome, Jared. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I really appreciate it. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so thrilled that you're all able to join us today. I hope you were all healthy and happy and well. And let's talk some series nonfiction, shall we? As mentioned, I'm the Director of Library Sales for Scholastic and Scholastic Library Publishing, and I'm thrilled to be able to take you through our newest Spring 2020 releases. Starting with Be an Expert. Kids love to be the experts, and now they can feel like real pros with this exciting nonfiction series for beginning readers. Featuring simple sentences and sight words to foster confidence in beginning readers and big, bold photos with labels to get kids excited and build their vocabulary. We have 4 new titles. You can see them all here: Mighty Trains, High Flyers, Cool Cars, and Construction Trucks. You can see some of the features here, as in the zoom in feature to find these parts in the bigger picture. And the expert gear. The expert gear section encourages children to retain their learning and to read and to understand all about what it takes to be an expert in these certain fields. We have 6 more titles in Be an Expert on their way for fall 2020 in September, and we're really excited about these, and so are our youngest learners. Next up is a new series called Tales to Grow By. Tales to Grow By is a brand new series of books that unlocks the power of fairy tales. So each tale is retold to highlight important emotions, feelings, and attitudes of its characters. So character education with familiar stories that kids know. There are 4 books in this series: Beauty and the Beast, Red Riding Hood, The 3 Little Pigs, and The Emperor's New Clothes. They feature questions throughout the text that encourage children to get in touch with their own feelings and experiences in relation to the fairy tale. Beautiful illustrations throughout, and a read together section written actually by an expert family counselor that helps children identify and understand the emotion featured in each book. Super important nowadays, character education for our young kids. How do you teach empathy? How do you teach honesty? And doing it through these well-known fairy tales is a great way to start. Next up, we have 6 new animals in our Wildlife LOL series. So Wildlife LOL introduces young readers to some of the most amazing animals on the planet in a surprising and laugh-out-loud funny way. Each book is brimming with colorful photos, bite-sized text, wacky facts, jokes, and riddles, entertaining every child who picks it up, and they're going to learn something too, which is great. 6 new animals: black bears, armadillos, goats, llamas, sloths, giant pandas, and you can tell right off the bat from the covers alone just how interesting and quirky and funny they are, whether it be the jokes or the little speech bubbles with the animals saying something. So you can see here our amazing armadillo saying, "What's the big dillo?" Lots of dad jokes contained in these books. Also important to point out, you can see this at a glance. All these great nonfiction features that our readers need are in there. We have got size comparison charts, habitat facts, features such as "That's extreme." So here, that's extreme. A mother bear eats her cub's poop to keep the den clean. Things you didn't know and things that kids are going to want to pass along to their parents and talk everything about what they're reading. You can see here a wacky fact. Pandas walk pigeon-toed. That means their front paws are turned inward. So all sorts of fun facts. We have age-appropriate jokes and riddles throughout. Glossary words appearing in bold throughout the text are defined at the bottom of each page. Photographic timelines, a spread showing the other members of the featured animal's extended family. And of course, as always, we try to include a feature in every animal book we do talking about conservation, explaining where the animals live in the wild, the threats they may face, and how kids can do their part to help. Here you can see a cousin page, everyone related to the llamas. Next up, a brand new nonfiction book, Cats React to Science Facts. So let's face it, like every topic, science becomes more interesting when cats are involved. Every spread in this book introduces a different STEM topic related to physical science, biology, astronomy, or the human body. And this is really where mind-blowing science facts meet cats. You can see the reactometer on this page measuring the cat's reaction to the science facts. So the temperatures on the sun can reach 27 million degrees Fahrenheit in the core, the center of the sun, which is the hottest part. The cat's mildly amused by this fact. Whereas cricket's ears are on its front legs, we pass right by OMG and go right to gross. So you can see cats reacting to science facts. So chock filled with STEM, with science, and also playing on the love of cats and just having some fun. We've got 2 new subsets in our True Book series. The first, a True Book Queens and Princesses. For those of you not familiar with the True Books, Children's Press has been publishing True Books since 1942. They are core curriculum, science and social studies topics for grades 3 to 5, ages 8 to 10. Every single True Book starts off with a Find the Truth feature, where we give our readers 2 statements, one true and one false. We begin the inquiry process right from the beginning, having them thinking proactively rather than simply reacting to what they've read. And these also have those great features. So, Queens and Princesses, Nefertiti, Elizabeth I, Grace of Monaco, and Diana, Princess of Wales. Full spread openers introduce each princess or queen in her historical context. Fascinating text, rich detail, compelling artworks, a pictorial timeline, sidebars, fast facts, a family tree, and all of the wonderful nonfiction features that are expected in these great royal biographies. The next up is a really important series, we think, called A True Book, Understanding Climate Change. Glaciers are melting, summers are heating up, and sea levels are on the rise. There's no doubt that climates are changing, and it affects every corner of our planet, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in not so good ways. And it's the subject of a lot of debate. So STEM meets current events in this new True Book set that offers readers the chance to learn about the causes and effects of climate change, as well as how people react. So we've got 4 new titles: Animals in Danger, The Greenhouse Effect, Extreme Weather and Rising Seas, and Facing a Warmer World. And these books really do a great job in meeting the expectations that we have for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders in what we explain to them. They are, they're right on point, and they deliver just the facts the way we're supposed to do, allowing the kids to formulate their own opinions on this quite subjective topic. So here you can see a layout. We've got thought-provoking openers. Again, all the great captions on the photos, fascinating sidebars, explorations, profiles, and timelines. The next 2 subsets are a brand new series for us called X Books. They are high interest at an accessible reading level. The first one, X Books Strange, high interest topics, real stories, accessible text, and engaging design, along with astonishing photos, are the building blocks of this new X Book series. 4 titles: Mummies and Murder, which you will see has a Booklist starred review; Lost City Spotted from Space, Tracking Bigfoot, and The UFO Landing. Perfect at that higher interest level. The second subset, Total War, Attack on Pearl Harbor, Pickett's Charge at Gettysburg, Reporting from Iraq, and 3 Days in Vietnam. These are 48 pages and again feature high interest topics, edgy and colorful cover art, a 5-page suspenseful preview, and short chapters with numerous illustrations, as you can see here. Timelines and everything explaining how we got into these wars and what they're all about. And finally, I want to introduce Scholastic Focus to you all, which is a line of narrative nonfiction books changing the way young readers experience the world. Narrative nonfiction has become all the rage for our older learners, and it really uses the power of story to talk about these important topics. So we've got 4 titles as I wrap up. Into the Clouds, The Race to Climb the World's Most Dangerous Mountain, a nail-biting tale of survival and brotherhood atop one of the deadliest mountains on Earth. To Fly Among the Stars, a searing look at the birth of America's space program. All of these, by the way, have garnered starred reviews. We Had to Be Brave. Cyberdiner author Deborah Hopkinson illuminates the true stories of Jewish children who fled to Nazi Germany, risking everything to escape to safety on the Kinder transport. I couldn't even imagine having to give your kids away to save their life. And finally, Stolen Justice, Lawrence Goldstone's story, a thrilling and incisive examination of the post-Reconstruction era struggle for and suppression of African-American voting rights in the United States. Really poignant, really powerful, power of story to teach our kids. So I appreciate your time today. I wanted to mention something real quick. By using the code Booklist2020, you can visit our website and save a little extra on our great nonfiction books. But also there is a link there to something called Scholastic Learn at Home. And as I mentioned, I hope you all are doing well and healthy. This is a very interesting time for all of us. And I wanted to just point out that Scholastic does have a resource that is absolutely 100% free and available to use for everyone if and when they are learning at home, either with their children, with your patrons, with your students, or just friends and family. So you can see the Scholastic Learn at Home link there. I am right now putting the official link in the chat box so that you can all grab it and paste it in. And I, implore you to pass it along to anybody you know. It's just free resources for families, administrators, and teachers learning while you're at home, K through 9th grade. I appreciate your time, you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jared. Next, we will hear from Wendy Vincent. Wendy is a former kindergarten teacher who has worked in educational product development and publishing for 13 years. As you are about to experience, she loves puns and is currently working hard to learn Spanish. Take it away, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Julia. We are so excited to be here today to show you our newly released spring titles. We also might have a little sneak peek of some things to come. So let's get started with the cutest series you have ever seen, Top Puppies. We think that this series is pawsome, and puppies are so cute. Top Puppies introduces beginning readers to the puppy stage of some of the most popular dog breeds. Each book in this Ready Readers imprint series uses simple text and vivid photos to present fun facts about these popular pets. Readers in grades pre-K through 2 will find out what puppies like to do, how big they get, and what makes them tops. A photo glossary helps support vocabulary development, while comprehension questions and activities encourage readers, families, and teachers to connect further with the text. Titles include Pug, Labrador Retriever, Bulldog, Yorkshire Terrier, German Shepherd, Golden Retriever, Poodle, and my personal favorite, Boxer. And like all of the titles I will be reviewing today, these are available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook formats. We predict that readers will love this K2 series, Weather Watchers. Each book in the Discovery Library Junior imprint series focuses on a particular weather topic, giving readers an introduction to different types of weather, weather measurement methods, the ways weather affects people, and more. Also included in each title is a glossary, comprehension questions, and an age-appropriate activity which can be done at home or in the classroom. There are also further reading suggestions to advance learning. Titles in this series include Measuring the Weather, Weather Patterns, Rain, Snow, Sleet, and Hail, Predicting the Weather, Weather Affects Me, and a favorite, Dangerous Weather. Do judges just sit in court all day? How does someone become a congressperson? And exactly what does an attorney general do? Just in time for election season, the Governing the United States series in our Discovery Library imprint answers these questions and more. With an easy-to-read Q&A format, this series introduces people in the government and their specific roles in shaping the laws and the communities of the United States. Young readers will explore how people get these jobs, what powers they hold, and just what they do every day. Each title in this collection also includes a glossary, comprehension questions, and an extension activity. Titles in this series include Ask the Mayor, the Governor, the President, a Congressperson, an Attorney General, and a Judge. Supporting interest level for 1st through 4th graders, these titles are sure to get your vote. Did you know that the first mobile phone was invented in 1946? I had no idea, but I did find out by reading The Invention of Phones in the Bridges imprint series, It Changed the World. Each book in this NGSS Aligned series introduces readers to some amazing inventions and the people who started it all. Interesting facts and vivid photos show how these inventions changed and continue to change the lives of people around the world. Titles include Invention of Space Exploration, Robotics, Electricity, the Combustion Engine, Phones, and Flight. Each book includes a glossary, comprehension questions, and an extension activity for further learning. Readers in grades 3 through 6 will love learning more about these inventions that changed the world. Next, we have our bilingual title, Playmakers in Sports. What does it take to fill a key position such as quarterback, goalie, or power forward? Find out in this high-interest, lower reading level bilingual series in our Escape imprint, Playmakers in Sports. Each title explores sports positions and supports readers with side-by-side English and Spanish text. The standalone spreads allow readers to flip pages and read in any order. The interest level for these titles is around grade 3, but my 40-year-old husband read every one of these and he reports that they are awesome. So, they're really for everyone. Titles include the soccer goalie, linebacker, pitcher, power forward, catcher, and quarterback. In each, glossary words are defined on the page where they appear, boosting reader comprehension. And finally, we have some translations of some of our awesome science titles and some of our social studies titles. I'm going to give this a shot. I've been practicing with my Spanish teacher this week, so let's hope that I don't mess these up, but it's all about putting myself out there. So Animales Africanos translates the 6 titles in our pre-K2 Ready Readers series, African Animals. Titles introduce amazing mammals from the continent of Africa and include zebra, chimpanzee, cheetah, hyena moteada, leopardo, y rinoceronte. Whew, I did it. 1 down, 2 more to go. Ayudantes comunitarios. This is a translation of our well-received K2 Discovery Library Junior Series, Community Helpers, now with 6 Spanish translations. Titles include Bombero, Cartero, Constructor, Doctor, Maestro, y Oficial de Policía. And finally, we have Mi Biblioteca de Física. This has been translated, this is a translation of our series, My Physical Science Library. And the titles in this series include Comunicandosa con señales y patrones, Energía solar, Empujar y jalar, Rápido y lento, Sólidos, liquides y gases, y El sonido viaja. Whew. This series is a partner to My Life Science Library and the upcoming Earth and Space and Engineering My Science Library series that you'll be seeing in the fall. And that's just a little sneak peek. But speaking of sneak peeks, coming in the fall is our brand new, beautiful Own Voices series, Leaders Like Us. This will be a continuing series, each featuring important leaders and celebrating a multitude of identities. We start the series with a focus on 6 Black leaders from the past and present day. From the Rockin' Rosetta Tharpe to the Rolling Major Taylor, students will find themselves reflected in the lives and identities of these inspirational leaders. Leaders like them, leaders like you, leaders like us. Also coming in the fall, discoveries around the world. Did you know that scientists in Africa have designed a vest that helps accurately diagnose pneumonia? Or that the black box, which if you read these titles you will find out is now orange, was invented by an Australian inventor? Discoveries Around the World takes readers to every continent, learning about exciting discoveries, both old and new, and the great minds behind those great finds. And finally, the series that had everyone in our office gasping, Dangerous or Not. It may look like an innocent toad or a deadly spider, but is it? This series, divided by animal classifications, explores if animals are dangerous or not. All of these new fall series and more will be available in August of this year, and we can't wait for kids to get their hands on these great new series. Well, that's it for me from Columbus, Ohio. This is my contact information. If you have any follow-up questions, you can also visit our website. And if you would rather talk to my awesome friend Rhea in sales, she would be glad to help you out. Her contact information is also on this slide. So thank you so much for having us today.
Thanks, Wendy. Our next presenter will be Kelly Mullen. Kelly feels very lucky to be able to sell best-in-class nonfiction books for beginners, struggling, and reluctant readers. It is so rewarding to hear from her customers that they can't keep Bellwether books on the shelves, and that even the most reluctant reader gets excited about their titles. When the libraries are closed and she is not driving kids to hockey, she enjoys spending time with her husband and 2 boys who are constantly asking her to bring home more Bellwether books. Thanks for joining us today, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here and listening to all these great new nonfiction books and to be able to talk about our new spring releases. And Wendy, I am very impressed with your Spanish. That was awesome. So starting off with Bellwether, again, we are a K-5 nonfiction publisher for beginning, struggling, and reluctant readers. For spring this season, we did 8 new series and 7 extension series that we'll be reviewing. Some of the highlights of Bellwether is that we are very well reviewed by Booklist and other sources. Like I mentioned in the introduction, we have a high circulation rate, and I hear all the time from librarians that they can't keep our books on the shelves. And when they run circulation reports, that our books are typically on the top. All of our books are leveled with ATOS, GRL, and Lexile leveling. We create books that kids love and that educators need. They have a great connection between the classroom and the library. And we also offer a lifetime guarantee on our books that if they start to get well loved and a little damaged, let us know and we are happy to replace them. We'll be reviewing titles in our main imprints. Then we'll start with the BLASTOFF Readers, our signature, BLASTOFF Discovery, our 2 high-interest imprints of Epic and Torque, and we'll finish up with our Makerspace imprint of Express. Starting off with our BLASTOFF Readers, BLASTOFF, as everyone knows, we're our carefully leveled imprint designed to guide beginning readers through each stage of their journey toward literacy fluency, and there are 3 different levels ranging from 1st through 3rd grade. Our first series that we're going to talk about is an extension, and as you'll see, there are 6 titles, and this is going to be a level 1 ATOS, 1st grade reading level, Community Helpers. As you can see by the titles here, we have stuck to and focused on trade positions, which has been very well received. These titles will have a narrative opening showing workers on the job. They have labeled bubbles that call out uniforms and equipment used. There'll be sidebars with key skills. And again, like I mentioned, there's a lot of focus on the trade jobs in this extension. Next up will be another extension of character education, again, another level 1. This series helps readers to understand the qualities of being generous and humble, resourceful, tolerant, and learning how to use them in their everyday lives. They have simple informational text to introduce key details of good character and simple compare and contrast infographics to help readers identify good character in action. Next up is a new series we have 2 upcoming series that are biomes. The first is Animals of the Coral Reef. This will be 6 titles at a level 2. And like we all know, coral reefs are among the busiest biomes on Earth. These warm water habitats are full of animals specially made to thrive in this environment. They're going to be filled with a ton of fun facts, including what is their diet and what does each animal eat. The species spotlights will offer range maps and conservation status bars. The next biome series we have is Animals of the Forest. And this is going to be a very similar format to the coral reefs. So when I was talking about our consistency in the beginning, this will definitely shine through in these 2 series. Each book is going to be formatted the same and will feel very comfortable to the reader with the low-level text and vibrant photos. Readers will learn how animals are specially adapted to thrive in the forest. Range maps will show where the animals are found. Zoomed-in photos, like the ones you see here of the gray owl, has labels that identify physical adaptations for each animal. Our next extension will be Awesome Dogs. This has been an extremely popular series that we're now at 48 titles. This series explores a brief history of each popular dog breed and all that makes them unique and awesome. They're filled with a brief history of each popular dog breed, like I had mentioned, and infographics that shows their trainability, lifespan, and physical characteristics. Can never get enough dogs. Another extension of a very popular series is Women Leading the Way. This is going to be a level 2, and this is a biography series for early readers that uses informative text and engaging features to highlight remarkable women at the forefront of their fields. The profiles of each woman will highlight their education, influences, birthdays. There'll be timelines that call out key life events and maps of hometowns that include inspirational quotes. A new series that we're really excited about is called Beginning to End. This is a level 3 reader, and each title allows readers to follow a product's path from start to finish. The maps will show where the item is commonly produced. There will be charts that highlight the impact of production. For example, a cotton t-shirt takes 713 gallons of water to make. There will also be flow charts of the production process to help the reader understand the sequence. Our next new series is Our Favorite Foods. This is going to be a very high-interest series that digs into the history behind popular foods. They will discuss the preparation, variations, and future of each food. There will be timelines that denote important events in the history of the food, recipes that allow readers to cook both the standard and fun variations of the food, and pictures like you can see here showing what the foods look like around the world. Next up is another extension series called Natural Disasters. This low-level series is packed with formation diagrams, real-life disaster profiles, and other special features. Readers will come away with an understanding of what causes natural disasters, how to prepare for them, and when to batten down the hatches. There will be maps that chart the places where each disaster most often occurs, and profiles of real-life disasters. Moving on to our next new series will be in our imprint BLASTOFF Discovery. BLASTOFF Discovery is going to be our highest reading level of a 4th grade reading level. And our first new series is Ancient Civilization. This visually stunning series introduces readers to the daily lives and innovations of ancient societies. They will have narrative openings that pull the reader into an ordinary day in the ancient society. Profiles will highlight important people from the civilizations. Infographics of gods and goddesses will give them an introduction and glimpse into religion and mythology. There'll be timelines that chart the history of the civilization and maps that show how the civilization expanded. An extension within our BLASTOFF Discovery is Country Profiles. These books take young readers on a world tour. There are full, colorful, beautiful photos. They also will have narrative openings that takes the readers along to these major landmarks. They have special features including recipes, activities, languages, maps, animal profiles, and famous people. Then heading into our 2 high-interest imprints, first up we have Torque. In our first series is an extremely high-interest topic of animal battles. That each title has an action-packed narrative scene that imagines a fight between the animals. They'll have profiles that offer statistics on height, weight, and habitat. There'll be range maps that show where in the world each animal lives, and sidebars that highlight the physical advantages of each animal. Next is an extension for Abandoned Places. This series explores the history or mystery behind the world's most famous ghost towns and other abandoned sites. There's a second-person narrative opening to transport readers to these abandoned places. There'll be maps that point out the locations. And they'll have timelines that break down the peak periods of the places and fun fact sidebars with bonus information. Moving on to our next imprint of Epic, which is going to be a high-interest, ultra-low reading level, comes another fully high-interest series called A Pet What? Each title explores the personalities and behaviors of unique pets from around the globe. It'll introduce readers to the best care practices for each pet, what they eat, where they sleep, how they play, and how to keep them healthy. They will have profiles that offer key statistics including size, lifespan, and animal type. And finally, our last new series comes in our Express imprint of Crafting with Nature, our Makerspace imprint. This nature-filled series will inspire readers to get outside and get crafting. Each title introduces 8 projects centered around a part of nature. Supply lists will call out all the needed craft materials and numbered steps with photos to help guide you through the craft. And that is it for our new series this spring, and we also have a sneak peek of what's coming down in the fall. An exciting announcement to make is that we are adding to our BLASTOFF family of titles with BLASTOFF Beginners. This imprint is designed for the beginning reader at the kindergarten reading level, where BLASTOFF Level 1 starts around ATOS 1.3. These will land in the 0.7 to 1.2 range. They will be high-interest topics for the 5- and 6-year-old that is learning to read, and will have topics like machines, ocean animals, backyard animals, and favorite pets. They will include one concept per page with predictable sentence patterns and high-frequency sight words. We are so excited to add this to our this imprint into the BLASTOFF family. Thank you again for your time today, and we hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thanks so much, Kelly. Our next presenter will be Rebecca Glazer. Rebecca is Associate Publisher at Amicus Publishing, leading their educational imprints as well as a trade imprint called Amicus Inc. Let me get her back on here. There we go. With more than 20 years experience editing and writing nonfiction, she can anchor a trivia team and has been known to stop dinner conversations cold by spouting random facts about animals. Thank you for joining us today, Rebecca.
Thank you, Julia, for that introduction, and thank you for hosting us today at Booklist. We're really glad to be here. I'm pleased to share with you our Spring 20 titles that have just been recently released. And it's really exciting to be able to share these because our book development team has been working on these months ago. We're always like a year ahead and have trouble remembering what year it is around here. Amicus, if you're not familiar, focuses on grades K through 3, so early elementary readers. And Amicus means friend. And so we try to imbue just a friendly atmosphere in everything we do, all the way from customer service to the features that we put into our books to make them accessible to readers. The first imprint I want to share with you is Spot, which is our early reader nonfiction line. And this is perfect for kindergartners or anyone who is just learning how to read. We have 3 new series for spring with 20 new titles. All our Spot books have accelerated reader quizzes. So if you're in AR school with those resources, these books will be a great fit. And the ATOS level is 1.0 or below on every single book in the Spot line. Arctic Animals is one of our new series. All of these animals are adapted to cold climates, of course, and also adorable, just like these sea otters you see here. And as I go through the Spot books, you'll see the consistency that we've built into this line to give emergent readers predictable features. Every book has an exact picture-text match and 3 ways to encounter new vocabulary. It's spotlighted in the red circle, it's used in the main body text, and it's also shown in the photograph. We go through hundreds of photographs and spend hours on photo selection to make sure that these choices are just right. We have 6 titles with very friendly covers that are just right for a kindergarten audience. Spot Outdoor Fun aims to inspire kids to get outdoors, hooking them with books on fun activities they may be already participating in. And every book starts with 4 words and close-up pictures on page 2, inviting the reader to find both the words and pictures as they read. This helps them predict the text, and it also gives them a little scavenger hunt to do. So once they encounter a word in the text and they get to that page, they're seeing it for the second time. We also have a Did You Find feature at the end of each book that shows exactly which part of the photos were shown. And we have 8 titles with a variety of fun outdoor activities for this spring. And everyone loves to celebrate holidays. We've got a wide variety of world religions represented in our series. Diwali is the Hindu festival of lights, and it's held near the end of the year in November or October. So these books give an introduction to the cultures and to common celebrations that kids can relate to, with 6 different titles, both all the end of the year ones that happen in December, and then Easter and Ramadan are both coming up this spring as well. Amicus High Interest is fun, fact-filled nonfiction on topics that kids want to read. The Summer Olympics currently are scheduled for July 2020 in Tokyo, Japan, and so are the Paralympics. The Paralympics are held each year right after the Olympics for athletes with disabilities to compete. Paralympics have many of the same events as the Olympics, and we're everything from track and field to cycling and swimming and rowing, to name just a few. Where needed, they use adaptive equipment like hand cycles, as you see here. And they also compete in adaptive sports like volleyball, where the athletes actually sit down and play only with their upper bodies. This series features 4 titles highlighting some really amazing athletes who don't let their disabilities get in the way of fierce training and competition. We've also updated our popular Summer Olympic sports series with new stats. And you can see also new pictures from the 2016 Olympics. Whenever we do sports titles, we work hard for an even gender balance. So half of the athletes shown will be female and half will be male, and you can see that here on our covers. It makes these titles are a really good bet for sports fans and a great guide to the events that they might see on TV. These books are also in Spanish for the first time, and I am not a Spanish speaker, so I won't try to pronounce them for you. But they are available if you have a Spanish-speaking readers that you need to serve. And if sports aren't your thing, but you're looking for other high-interest titles, it's hard to resist cute cats. And so we've extended our favorite cat breed series with 6 new titles. This series is written at grades 1 to 2 reading levels, so it's a slightly lighter text load than the Olympics books. And there's a lot of different just awesome photos, just showing unique poses of cats and fun facts that will draw in readers. And every book wraps up with a breed identification diagram and a glossary. And 6 new breeds make this series a total of 14 titles now. Next up is Sequence, which uses timelines to demonstrate processes at a 3rd grade level. We have 4 new titles in our Sequence Amazing Structures series, including offshore oil rigs, which are pretty amazing structures. They're like a small city kind of in the middle of the ocean. And building one takes many, many steps. Each step is outlined and explained in the text, and then timeline elements are added progressively as you read the book. So every time you turn the page, you're going to have a new element to the timeline that's explained in the text, and then by the end of the book, you have a full timeline, and you can really get a sense of how much time it took to build. And all of the books in this series give kids a behind-the-scenes look at places and structures they may encounter, and an appreciation for the many people and the many months or years that it takes to build them, and hopefully even inspire some STEM careers as well. Moving on to some life science topics, we have a new title in our I've Got series, which is written by zoologist Julie Murphy from Australia. And in this series, she talks about animal adaptations. This book combines the animals telling about their tales in 1st person, plus follow-up information in 3rd person, making this a good cross-curricular option for both life science and language arts. Excuse me. You can see here the Arctic fox has a snuggly tail. And a couple that I have not shown are some really neat tales, like the spider-tailed viper that is like a snake with a fake spider at the end of its tail, and it tricks birds. The snake eats the bird instead of the bird eating the spider. So there's a lot of really interesting facts in these books. And so this title joins 2 other books featuring eyes and feet, making this a fun comparison series for nonfiction. And then next, I'm going to show you a sneak peek, just for attendees of the Booklist webinar, about something coming up this fall. We have a new imprint called Curious About. And this is our new imprint for inquisitive kids that uses inquiry-based nonfiction on high-interest topics to keep kids reading and learning. Written at a 2nd grade level, each chapter is based on a question that kids might ask, and well-researched answers satisfy their curiosity, supported by a lot of graphic comparisons where appropriate, and a lot of really great information leveled just for second graders. We know you have a lot of pet books already, but we also know that pet books are really popular with kids and high circulating topics. Each book builds on kids' natural curiosity with questions about things like training, and we're not afraid to ask some of the tough questions either, like even why dogs eat their own poop. And so even for kids who are already pet lovers, they're bound to learn something new with this series. Of course, outer space is always a good topic to inspire curiosity because we're always discovering new things about it. All of our writers try really hard to capture a child's point of view. As adults, we already know that we've never been to another planet yet, but a 7-year-old might very well ask, have we ever visited Saturn? All of the curious, all of the curious about titles also end with a media literacy feature that guides kids through the research process and how to learn more if they're still curious. And then the last series in the sneak preview is, remember these are releasing in August, curious about unexplained mysteries. And of course, there's no proof of most of these unexplained things. We don't actually know what Bigfoot looks like, but aren't you curious whether he exists or not and what we do know about him? And so this series presents the facts that we know so far and what the various theories are in a way that will help kids separate fact from fiction. So we're just putting the final touches on these books now, and we look forward to rolling those out this fall and sharing those with you. Thank you very much for listening today. Please get in touch and connect with Amicus if you have any questions. We have all of our books available as ebooks, hardcovers, and paperbacks, and we are still open and up and running and shipping to any place that can receive books. So let us know what you need, including if you're doing online learning and need permission to read books aloud to your class or anything like that. We're happy to provide that and allow people to do that. So thank you, everyone, and back to you, Julia.
Thanks, Rebecca. Next, we have Jen Basil, and she is our final presenter today. Jen hates boring books, and she loves making fun books for all readers. Jen started her career with Capstone Press. In 2015, she hopped over to Black Rabbit Books with a drive to create new content for kids who say they don't like to read. At Black Rabbit, she has launched 3 imprints, Bolt, Hijinks, and now Bolt Jr. These books provide graphic, rich, and carefully leveled content that engages students and proves reading can be fun. Take it away, Jen.
Thank you so much, Julia, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to show you what Black Rabbit has for you this spring. It's such an honor to be on this webinar with all these other amazing publishers, too. There's some really fun stuff out there for spring. So I do hope you already know about Black Rabbit a little bit and about our 2 imprints that we've had out for a little while. Hijinks is our brand of books that are all about mischief and mayhem. Anything gross, mysterious, hands-on is fair game in that brand. And then in our Bolt imprint, that focuses on bringing content to struggling or reluctant readers with a big emphasis on infographics. So presenting information through graphs, charts, maps, labeled photos, all of that kind of graphic-rich content. I call the use of infographics an interactive experience. Readers have to use different parts of their brains to gather that content that's presented graphically rather than just in text. And all that interactivity is a key reason why Bolt has been so successful for so many students and their teachers. And so we decided to take that powerful interactive element and bring it to the younger readers. And so today, please let me introduce to you our newest imprint, Bolt Jr. We have 30 titles for Bolt Jr., all available right now. No matter what the topics are, all Bolt Jr. titles are 24 pages, and they're written to the exact same reading level. They all fall between a 1.4 and a 1.8 ATOS. What's great about that kind of consistency is that if your student has success with one Bolt Jr. title, they'll have success with every Bolt Jr. title. So let's get started into the series. Like I said, we have 30 titles. That breaks into 5 6-book series. We'll start out here with Baby Animals. I'll draw your attention to the photos, not just on the covers on all of these books that you're going to see from us, but on the interiors as well. We know that we have to sell these books to these readers, and the photos in these books do that beautifully. I mean, who wouldn't want to pick up that laughing panda? Reading supports are so important for our young students' literacy success. So we've also added on-page glossary definitions. There's still a full glossary in the back of each book, but having the words defined right on the page helps that reading fluency without having to break the flow to flip the pages, and I really love that feature. And here's an example of the kind of infographic that you'll see throughout these titles. The graphics allow young readers to engage with the content and the images while still giving them, like in this case, the information about the animal's body features that they need. So next up is Awesome Animal Lives. So in the last series, we focused on animals from birth through childhood. In this series, we learn more about what life is like for the adults. All the important information is included: sizes, habitats, food, some conservation information. So these are great primers for beginning reports, as well as use for great pleasure reading. And then here you can see an example of the low-level infographic paired with really engaging, fun photos. I just really think kids are going to love these, and your circulation should be really high. So here, there's nothing more high interest than robots. The thing about this topic is that it's done often for the upper elementary readers, but it's hard to get this super popular topic for younger students. And we have it for you here in Bolt Junior at this first grade reading level. You'll see that consistent page design and simple infographics in this series too, with the content focusing on how scientists study real-life animals to make robots that will help people. And every Bolt Junior title ends with a spread like this one, this bonus facts feature. These are spreads with fun, shareable facts that give readers a little something more, a little something that they can share with their friends or their families. Fun facts are a great way to engage any of those reluctant readers, and we've got these bonus facts in every title. Paranormal is another topic that's hard to find at a younger reading level. We know our young students love the topics, but the big kid books might be just a little bit too scary. So these books from Bolt Junior are just a little bit spooky. The series covers the topics that kids of all ages love to fear, everything from Bigfoot to the Loch Ness Monster. These books get into what clues these monsters might leave behind and what witnesses are saying about them. And all the books ask the reader to decide for themselves if the monster is real or not. And here you can see another bonus fact spread. These are graphically heavy, but they have an easy to understand flow, which is really going to help your readers practice their visual literacy. And last but not least, we have Wild Rides. This 6-book set is all about things that go fast, and you really just can't beat that, right? Again, we're hitting those high interest topics with that carefully leveled text, exciting graphics. That's the key to grabbing readers and holding them through the end of the book. In this series, readers also get some simple details about how the vehicles work and the features that make them go faster or features that make them safer. But the details aren't overwhelming, and it's all written in a low-level conversational voice that makes these easy reads. And so that's the 5 series that we have in Bolt Junior that are out brand new this season. Bolt Junior is really a powerful new tool for you to add to your toolbox for your younger readers, especially those who are already saying that they maybe don't like to read. If we can engage them early and give them success with consistency, I really believe we can turn them into book lovers at an early age. And before I go, I just wanted to echo what Jared said at the very beginning of this webinar. We just all hope that you are all home safe and sound and are healthy and well. And our hearts just are going out to all of the educators and students that are dealing with redesigning what education looks like right now, and they're having to do it in a very short amount of time. So Black Rabbit is a small company, but we are trying very hard to find ways to support you. So right now we are offering our entire list, Bolt Junior, and Hijinks, to you at a buy one, get one free offer. There's no minimums, no maximums. You can do this right on our website, blackrabbitbooks.com. When you get to the checkout, there's a coupon section, and you just type in BOGO, B-O-G-O, and you'll get that buy one, get one free. Or just call into our customer service department and mention the offer, and they will help you out. Feel free to share this with parents or other educators or anyone who might need more resources at this time. And so this is just one way that we're hoping to try to make those more available to all of you. So thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Jen. And a big thank you to all of today's wonderful panelists. Tomorrow, all attendees will be getting an email containing links to today's slide presentation, title list, certificate of completion, and video recording. For more about Booklist webinars, be sure to visit booklistonline.com/webinars, where you can view archives of past webinars and register for upcoming ones. If you haven't already, be sure to check out Booklist Reader, where Booklist contributors are posting daily about all things books and library land. Booklist has a digital edition of the magazine, which you can connect to your subscription online. This format pairs the page-by-page reading experience of print with the convenience of online access. And it's included free with all Booklist subscriptions. Not yet a subscriber? Take advantage of this special webinar offer to get print, online, digital, and archive access to Booklist for only $99. Tired of waiting to see the latest copy of Booklist or worrying it might get misplaced on its way to you? You can now purchase an extra copy for your library for just $50. To learn more, please visit bit.ly/booklist450. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. And one more thank you to all our sponsors, Scholastic Library, Rourke Educational Media, Bellwether Media, Amicus Publishing, and Black Rabbit Books. This concludes today's webinar.